Live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is Sunday Social. I've got Shreyas, Shivi, and Sam in this bitch, and it's about to go down. We are going to debate if Manchester United have actually changed from last season, or if it's just a fugazi or smoke and mirrors. It's nonsense. A lot of things I want to discuss and a lot of specifics, but I think the easiest kind of comparison we can go to straight off the bat is the first 5 games of this season compared to the first 5 games of last season. So get ready for this, okay? So, this time last season, we played 5, won 2, lost 3, scored 6, conceded 10. Okay, that was last season. This season, we played 5, won 2, drew 1, lost 2, scored 5, conceded 5. So, level goal difference. So, in actual facts, the first easy comparison there, they're not that far away from each other. It's just goals conceded more. It's almost a replica start of last season, which would suggest on an usual basis that there hasn't been any improvement. But if it's not just based off results, I do think there's a little bit more context to how we're playing and the difference in terms of tactics, which we can dive into. So one thing I think we'll remember from last season, the first couple of games, lads, against Wolves and Spurs, midfield was just completely wide open, wasn't it? It was just like, I remember Sarabia and Cunha, was it, dropping into that midfield and just killing us straight away. I remember the Spurs game where Sarr and Basuma just dominated the midfield and Casemiro was left on his own. And then you can kind of see this from a stats perspective. So 76 shots in the first 5 games last season. That's how many we conceded, which is absolutely crazy. One thing I will say, and I'll kick it off with this, Shreyas, is we do seem a little bit more compact and resolute in these first 5 games, at least, don't we?
Yeah, I think system-wise we look a bit better. We look a bit more balanced than we usually we looked last year. I think apart from that, with the way we build up the ball, the way we are able to create at the moment, I think it is much better than last season, because last season it was way too chaotic. Even when you looked at our midfield, even when you looked at our attack, and there was just genuinely no consistency in that lineup whatsoever, and it became so easy for opposition teams to tackle us because there was just way too much space between the midfield and the defensive line, and the attacking line. With the attacking line as well, there was just no stability in that team, and we could see it in the first game against Wolves itself. And when Ten Hag insisted on sticking with that and not making any tweaks, we knew that it's going to be a very hard season for us, and it turned out to be a very hard season. I think this year it looks a bit more compact. I can see at least the midfield having relevance in games where we actually see the midfield having the ball, where we see the midfield spreading the ball out. The fullbacks actually help out a lot with that as well, in order to help maintain the shape when we are trying to build up. But it does look a bit more compact. It looks more stable, and I think we're still a bit off, but this is something that maybe can be something built upon.
Yeah, you was not a huge I would say huge fan then. You was quite consistent, weren't you, Shivi, on the midfield situations and the dynamics last season. Have you seen enough so far this season to maybe convince you or change your mind a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's changed, when we're attacking or when we're lining up in attack, it's like a 4-2-4 sort of thing. I think what I was most worried about last season was having the lone 6, having that lone midfielder, and then having the 2-8s sort of pressing up and then just leaving him isolated. And if we're going to do that and have maybe one of the fullbacks drop in to pair with him, that might have been a bit different. But a lot of times, what we would see was an isolated 6, and this is why I was adamant that it didn't matter who was there; they were always going to get overrun. We haven't really seen that this season that much, at least not as far as I can remember. There've been instances where we've seen that, but then it hasn't been like a recurring trend. I think he's kind of gone more with the 2, with the pairings. At least in defense. When we're attacking, it's different. We always have like a roaming 8 that goes forward. But then in defending, I think it's changed a little bit. And I have seen a bit of a change, but I'm sure, you're probably going to go to it as we go further. But as far as the midfield dynamic, yeah, it's changed a little bit. We look a little bit more assured. I don't know whether, maybe that has to also do with the defense. We've got some brilliant wing backs. And every now and then we see one of them actually drop in to the midfield. So they're coming more centrally. So maybe that's adding a little bit more manpower in the midfield. But yeah, it's definitely different. It's not the same, just open season that it was last time.
Yeah, and there was some concerns of that at the start of the season. I remember even still a couple of games, you're like, please, not again. Can we have the same setup? Because we've just got the same problem. So I do think he has tweaked it. Whether that's kind of Jason Wilcox imprint on that, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe there's been a collaboration of ideas. We don't know really. But yeah, in that Palace game, Sam, I think it was pretty evident. Wasn't it? We saw more of a rigid kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, a 3-2-2-3 or a 3-2-6, whatever it is. You saw that we had like a bit of an advantage against Crystal Palace the way they were setting up with the wing backs. You saw Dalot dropping into the midfield to support Mainu. Xerxes was picking up the football in loads of different kind of places. A lot more fluid, and application off the ball was a lot better as well. Whereas last season, one-way traffic.
I honestly think the fans who were crying wolf about oh, it's the same shit, nothing has changed, and they were saying, oh, Xerxes useless, and I'm like, did you watch the game like at all? Like, watch the game, watched how impactful he was, and like you said, he was with runners off the back of him, the link-up play, the dropping deep, the holding the ball up, the passing. There was a pass he put through a Garnacho, and he should have buried it, and Dean Henderson made a good save. He was super effective. As soon as he came off, we died off that top end. Our front end died off as soon as he came off.
He was the one he gave Bruno that, the one where Bruno shot with the outside of the
yeah.
That was Xerxes as well.
Yeah, exactly.
He was involved.
And then he took him off him. Our front 4-3 kind of just didn't work the same since he came off. So the people who were saying, oh, he doesn't do anything, it's just like, that's clearly untrue, because when he came off the pitch, we looked worse off. So I think he's been super, super important for us. And I would love to see him play with Højlund. I'd love to see that at some point this season. That would be really nice to see how they sort of interact together. But I looked up a couple of stats. So we are, in terms of big chances missed, which is where I think our big problem is this season.
Yep.
We're 17 big chances missed, and we're first with the top. So we have missed the most big chances in the league. And then expected goals, we're 9.6 expected goals, and that's second in the league. So this is the issue for United right here. Like, clearly we've sorted a lot of issues. I think we've faced less shots on goal as well, I believe. I've not got the stats off the top of my head. We've faced less shots on goal. We've had 2 clean sheets in the league, I believe, and then 3 if you count the Barnsley game as well, where we didn't. I don't think we had any last 5 games of last season.
No. Fulham clean sheet, Southampton clean sheet,
and then Crystal Palace
clean sheet.
All right, 3. So even better. And we didn't have any, I don't think, last 5 games of the season. And I was just looking at last season. So the first 5 games of the season, in terms of expected goals, we were 12. And then in terms of what was the other stats? Big chances, we were 11th. Big chances missed. So we've gone from 11th and 12th to 1st and 2nd. So clearly the chance creation has got better. The opportunities have become better. The defense has been more solid because more clean sheets, and clearly having a settled back 4, back 5 has helped us tremendously as well, because you've seen the confidence from Onana with that save, the double save, which I think was phenomenal. I don't think you would have seen that last season with the ever-changing defense in front of him. I think it makes people nervous, unsettled, not sure what's going to happen. Where's he trust his defense now? You've got De Ligt, who's phenomenal. Leacher, double foot in the air tackle aside, was really, really good. Mazraoui, who's been a fucking revelation. Unbelievable, like, fantastic player. I think that's helped out the back line. And then Eriksen has kind of been a bit of a weird guy where I've been like, I didn't expect him to be this guy, but he has been. He's been really, really good the last 2 games. I think the only sort of people where we would say they're letting us down a little bit, I'd probably say is Bruno. I think everybody else has stepped up. Rashford stepped up. Garnacho stepped up. Xerxes stepped up. The new players who come in have stepped up. Obviously, we've not seen enough of Guate yet. But I think the only player who I would say is letting us down would be Bruno. That's the only position where I'd be like, he's not pulling his weight at the minute. But yeah, I think in everything we've looked better. So I don't understand the people who are going, it's the same shit. It's nothing's changed. I was like, it's clearly not true in the stats and on the eye test.
The ultra sticking point though, Shreyas, is the goals in it, because as much as we can look solid defensively and retain all the possession that we want and create all the chances that we want. If you don't score, you don't fucking win games. It's as simple as that, innit?
Yeah, it is. But I think, even that is a process because I think it has been quite a while where we've seen us create a lot of chances to score, like, 3 games in a row. Southampton, we did it. Barnsley, we did it. Against Palace, we created a lot of opportunities as well. And I think the scoring will come. It will take some time. Maybe, now with Højlund coming back, it will take him some time to be, completely, fully matched up. I think Xerxes will come through as well. Rashford is finally in a good vein of form. Garnacho is in a good vein of form. I think it will start clicking a bit more once we get a good solid 4 to 5 run of games with every single player involved. Your Højlund, Xerxes, Garnacho, Ahmad, and Rashford. So it's a good mix to have, but I think till the time we're at least creating these chances, week in and week out, I think it will come through because we've got the players, we've got the right coaching setup as well to actually help them with this finishing.
Do you think there's enough goals in that forward line for this season?
It should be, because look,
Should be.
it should be, because look, now you've got Xerxes coming in. I don't think that Xerxes will be your 20 to 25 goal striker sort of a player, but he'll be someone who opens up channels for the other people who are playing alongside him. So when you've got Rashford firing, when you've got Garnacho firing, I think it'll make their job a lot easier when they're playing alongside Xerxes, because he's very, very helpful to these direct wingers.
Yeah.
I think Ahmad will come through as well in a similar aspect. I think he opens up a lot of channels for the other players to move into. And I think, but right now, our most active goal scoring threats are Rashford and Garnacho. So unless they actually start to, convert most of the opportunities that they get, that's the only way we actually start ending up with goals. Or if, somehow Højlund is, able to get a good run going, because last season as well, I think there was a time where he scored like 5 to 6 games in a row. Every single game he was scoring before he got injured. So if he can click into it, maybe that happens. But I'm a bit more hopeful with the kind of setup that we've got at the moment.
Yeah, Chivi, I'm not as convinced personally. I still think we need like a killer up top. I don't know what's your perspective on this. Do you think if the wingers can start to contribute, because with Xerxes coming in, he's not, like Shreyas said, he's not going to be one who's scoring 20 odd goals, is there? So then there's a heavy reliance then on Garnacho, Rashford, and they've been way too inconsistent over the past couple of years.
I agree. I don't think they're prolific in terms of goal scoring. So when it comes to Ahmad, Ahmad is untested. So we really don't know what we have at the moment with either Ahmad or we kind of have an idea of what we have with Garnacho because he's had a full season with us and we know that he's got a goal in him. What we don't know is if he can give us 15, 20. We don't know that. But Ahmad is still untested, so we're not sure. Marcus Rashford, we don't know what version of Rashford we have right now because we've seen the dry goal drought Rashford at the start of the season, and then the last 2 games, he started scoring again. So from game to game, we can't really tell. So I agree. I think what we need is that assurance, having that main killer up there. But I've managed my expectations. Like I know that's not going to happen. Maybe not even in January. We'll probably have to wait till next season. And I remember I think it was on the show this afternoon, Nick, when you referenced Sir David Brailsford, when you were talking about small margins, like just small gains, basically. And I think there's been an improvement in the attack, in the personnel in general, at the team, in the team. So we probably won't get that till next season. But for now, what we have, I think it's capable enough for us to be able to compete. My big frustration yesterday, and literally I lost my head yesterday, was the manager's decisions, like the substitutions that he made.
In-game management.
Yeah, because when it happened, when Xerxes came, when Rashford was on the sidelines, I was thinking, okay, Garnacho's got Ian, so maybe Rashford's coming on for him. And then somebody who was watching which was like, he might be taking Xerxes off. I was like, no chance. Like everything's going through him. Like it's absolutely no chance. And then he takes Xerxes off. Okay, fine. And then later on he takes off Ahmad and Christian Eriksen. These are all our ball players. in a game where we're trying to control this game, you're taking out the people who are actually good at playing with the ball, and you just have direct players everywhere. It's just, and you bring on Ugarte, where I like him, but like if you're trying to control the game, you're better off bringing on Casemiro, who's better on the ball than that. So what annoyed me was that why is it that I know that?
Yeah.
Why is it that everyone else knows that? Why don't you know this? Like, this is the person that I'm supposed to put my trust in, and he doesn't know this. So what sort of how can I, what sort of belief should I have? If the last time I played Football Manager was like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. I'm just a casual. I just watch football. I hear people talk about it. I'm no expert. Why do I know this? Why did I know then that we were going to? I was like, we've lost the game. Like, we're not going to do anything. And it was so annoying to see everything I was saying was happening. Not just me. I'm sure a lot of people felt the same way. You guys felt the same way as well. Mm-hmm. So I was so annoyed that why is it that we know this? Why can't you see this? Is it that he doesn't know his players, or because we have the potential? We're controlling that game. We can actually be better than where we are right now.
Yeah.
We have the players. Yeah, we actually have to. We played really well. All the combination passes and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, okay, maybe might not be the best football, but it's a huge improvement from last year. Like, you were just about to redeem yourself, and then all of a sudden he's just like. So I don't know what to believe anymore. But like, I think I went on a tangent there. Sorry.
No, just to, if I can, like you mentioned about Xerxes there, just in reference to that. So it's just a quick stat for you. It's Man United with Xerxes on the pitch. Final third pass accuracy 73.4%. Final third passes per minute 1.52. That's with Xerxes on the pitch, right? When Xerxes came off, it dropped to 60%. And then the final third passes per minute was 0.57. So it was clear, it's night and day. Not even from the eye test. Statistically, it's night and day. That the game.
Well, we didn't even see. Exactly. We didn't see Rashford when he came on. I was happy to see Rashford come on, but he should have come on for, if anyone, for maybe one of the wingers, because having him and Xerxes, him running off Xerxes would have, but yeah, I mean, we are where we are. I really, really hope that the manager sees this. Maybe he takes this as a learning point, and goes forward with this, because this was a massive opportunity we had yesterday.
Yeah,
massive, because like the momentum, we've lost the momentum. We're gonna have to try and build it against Spurs. We're supposed to take this momentum to Spurs. Now we have to gain it back again, and it's just.
At least from an individual point of view, the players that have come into this system, you look at Ahmad, Xerxes, Majrara, Ericsson. I think the reason why you're seeing De Ligt as well, why you're seeing this style, why it's easier to retain possession, is because of these players, right? So do you expect the names that I've just mentioned, to have a much more heavily featured role this season?
Yeah, because we've seen, like, me and Chiffy have spoken about it a couple of times. Fullbacks inverting into the midfield. Dallo was doing it for quite a while before Mazraoui arrived. Then the last season, and then the beginning of this season. And then Mazraoui, since he's come in, has basically done that consistently. And we've seen him win the ball in the midfield. We've seen him run the ball into the midfield and use it in there, because he's very good on the ball, and his intelligence and his ability to make the right decision every single time means when he's in the midfield, he's very, very effective. So I think I didn't expect this from him when we bought him. I thought he'd be a bit part player, but now he's become pretty much integral in the way we play in the team. So that's interesting to see. I think Ugarte will change that further as well, being able to have. I know Chivi was speaking about having two eights, or whatever you want to call it, two pivots at the back, which is what we were doing against Crystal Palace, and we suffocated that midfield with Kobe, Ericsson, Bruno, and then the fullbacks inverting in. But with Ugarte, you might be able to have that, but with a more attacking version of it, because he's just going to sit in front of the De Ligt and Leacher, and then when we're out of possession, it almost becomes like a back five. He'll come back in, which allows us to soak up a bit more rather than being absolutely exposed and wide open. And he'll win back those tackles. So when the opposition are trying to transition, he'll be able to snap into those tackles, steal the ball, get it out to Kobe, Bruno, or whoever, and then we'll transition and then end it up on the attack, which is what Ten Hag wants to do. That seems to be the style of his play he wants to do. However, I think he he didn't have the personnel. His system is very dependent on personnel. I think his system doesn't work with just the players that you have. He wants specific personnel to work with a specific system, which is unfortunate. But I think now he has the players to do it. So now he has zero excuses. So I think as long as these players stay fit, I think we'll be all right. Obviously, you can't avoid injuries. Injuries happen, but I don't think we should expect the amount of injuries we had last season. That was just insane. But yeah, I think the more players he gets who can fit into the system and the depth which we have improved, I think it will improve. However, it's going to take time. We're essentially starting at year one again with Ten Hag. This is essentially what we're doing because it's Ineos, new system, new scouting system, new board, new everything. But fans in their heads have already had 2 years of Ten Hag, so they're already at breaking point. They're already at patience is fucking gone. So as soon as he does something or miscorrects something, like the substitution decision that Chivy mentioned, which again I disagreed with and I thought was weird. When stuff like that happens, people are like Ten Hag out, it's fucking stupid, blah, blah, blah. And I get it because people have already had 2 years of stupid shit happening and things being done wrong. They're now already at breaking point, which if he came in and he'd done an Arteta where it's slow progression each year, even though the results weren't that great, there'd probably be more patience than there is right now.
Shreyas, I want to come to you in a moment. I just want to read out some comments. There's some decent ones in here. There's quite a few viewers in the chat as well, so do get your opinions in. I'm more than happy to debate anything that you want. Smash a like on the video for us. Mira is saying, who do you think is the best player in the world right now? Quick answer, lads. Who's the best player in the world right now?
Vinicius Jr.
I'd go Rodri, personally.
Valverde.
Sure, we probably don't care. I can move on. United forever. We're not conceding 15, 20 shots on our goal each game. That alone is progression. We've missed the most big chances in the league, which means we are at least creating chances. Bruno needs a spoiled bait for friends and don't needs to be selfish. I think spoiled brat meant to be saying, I'm not sure. HS, guys, Garnacho lost the game yesterday, missing those chances. Well, there's a couple. Bruno missed 2.
Yep.
De Ligt had a very good header.
Yep.
Off a corner, which actually gives me the perfect segue, Shreyas, actually. Set pieces.
That's to be unfair.
What's unfair?
I mean, pointing out Garnacho.
Right.
He took his chances really, really well. Like, Dean Henderson was just on point.
Great save. Yeah, great save for the first one.
And the second one, that was world class. When he just lifts it up.
Yeah.
And he hits the bar. Come on, man. Like,
it's hard to execute that bounce in it.
It's a bit harsh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with those chances. Sorry, go on.
I agree. It did give me the perfect segue, and then traffic jam, and now we're back to it. So, set pieces, Shreyas, improving. I know we didn't technically score off one, but I'm talking purely about the delivery, the execution, the variety that you're seeing as well. Is at least a little bit better in it. And don't forget, we scored against Southampton as well, off 2 set pieces.
I think genuinely, and I think there are 2 figures that are responsible for it. One is Eriksen and another is De Ligt. Both of them, I think Eriksen is very, very good. I think Eriksen is very, very precise as well whenever he's taking set pieces. And De Ligt knows how to...
always hits the first man, doesn't he? That's the issue. Always hits the near post.
Or he plays it short every single time.
Yeah.
So, but with Eriksen, he knows how to navigate with the ball. He has that sort of creativity, and I think De Ligt even knows, when to make the runs, when to, be able to disengage and engage once again in the box. So he's very smart when it comes to set pieces. And both of these guys, the kind of combination that they're building, I think very unfortunate that De Ligt didn't get a header goal in that game, but it looks a lot more better. And I think Eriksen, in the past 2 games that he's played, 3 games pretty much that he's played, he's looked really good. And he's looked better than Bruno in that midfield in the games that he's played, because the way he controls the ball, of course, there are a few flaws to his game, no doubt about it. But on the ball, he's one of the best midfielders that we've got. And with the way he creates chances as well, for play, like pretty much like a deep playmaker. I think I just don't know how much of an evolved role he'll have in this team when we move, into the deeper stages of the season. But I think he'll still be very crucial, because when it comes to unlocking those defenses, and especially, I think in yesterday's game as well, if we got Ugarte on and we would have gotten him on for Bruno and we would have played Eriksen in the 10, and then you've got those sort of direct profiles in Højlund, in your Rashford and your Garnacho, probably would have been a better game to see in the final moment.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask you, actually, Chivy. I really want to get your opinion on this. What is the best midfield in terms of balance, do you think? Or you can go off form because football's so fickle in it. Like, 6 months can change so many things. You look at Eriksen, how he's playing at the moment. What's the best balanced midfield in your opinion?
Just to touch on Eriksen, I think
Mhm.
it's with the midfield selection with United, it's basically what style of let me not say what style of play, but how we set up. So if we're trying to control a game, then you need people who can play the ball, and then that's why you have people like Eriksen in there. If we're going away to Arsenal or City and we need to sit back, then we might probably have to go with someone like Casemiro and Ugarte sort of thing. So it really depends on your approach to the game. But I really like Eriksen. Right now, just based on form and just based on everything we're taking into context and all that stuff, I would love to see a midfield trio of Eriksen in 10 and Casemiro and what's his name? Kobe Mino.
Oh, Menu. Okay.
Yeah, Kobe Mino, yeah.
Who's
And then
Casemiro.
Sorry? No.
Casemiro
So Casemiro and Mino
as a
in
double
a partnership. That's a double pivot and Eriksen in the 10. And then we can manage the game that way. And then maybe after a while, because Eriksen doesn't have a gas tank. So he comes off, Mino moves up, Ugarte comes in, and then we're solid.
Mm. Where does that leave Bruno?
So on the bench, or I don't know.
No, I'm not saying it like I'm shocked or anything, because I think Bruno's been pretty shit, to be honest. I thought he was shit against Palace.
Yeah, I mean, if we're just going with what's happening now, current form and everything, the way we see it, I would rather have, and this is no slight on Bruno, I'm just saying I would rather have, I'd balance when it comes to like balancing how everyone plays. Because we need players who make quick decisions, but can stay calm to make those decisions in that final third. And when you have someone like Bruno, where sometimes we've seen him do this a couple of times, he gets the ball, and it's almost as if like it's like a short circuit, and then he just makes a rash decision.
I described it to as an orchestra, and everything's going smooth, and hitting all these patterns, and Bruno's one walking in with a fucking trumpet, fucking blowing everything out. Like, he's just disrupting composure and like intelligence in it with what he does.
Exactly. Yeah, I would rather players like Højlund and Bruno. I would rather have them if we're trying to protect a lead away from home, and then we're sitting back, we're trying to catch people. Bruno's good with those first-time passes where he just lobs it over.
Yeah.
Then you've got someone like Garnacho or Højlund who just exploit all the space. Yeah, exploits the space behind, that sort of thing. We have a very diverse set of players, but we can actually get them to play together, and I'd like to see something like that. So yeah. So my midfield would be either Eriksen, Mino, Ugarte, or whichever, anyone that doesn't include Bruno, basically.
Sam, I spoke about Bruno Fernandes this afternoon heavily, and I give my full opinions on it, so I don't need to go into it. But there is a conversation in it because he has just got that new big bumper contract at the age of 30. We've seen it before with multiple players before. I'm not suggesting by any stretch of the imagination that he's not playing well because he's got his contract. But should he be a guaranteed starter every single game, week in, week out?
I don't think any player should be guaranteed to start week in, week out. You should start based on form and how you're playing. Like, if you're playing well, scoring goals or contributing to the team consistently, you get to start. If you're not, you don't get to start. Like, it doesn't matter if you've got an elastic thing that says captain around your arm. Like, that shouldn't matter. The reason people like Roy Keane and Brian Robson and people like that had the captain's armband and they started every week is because they got the captain's armband because they were consistent each week and they didn't let the team down and they just consistently were playing well up until the point where they didn't. And then Fergie took the armband off them, or they moved them on, or whatever. Or in the case of Keane, they fell out, like whatever it is. The same thing. So if Bruno's not performing, no, he's not being consistent, you don't get to play. So you have a leadership, like football is different as well. Like you have a leadership group. So I'm sure Bruno isn't the only leader in that dressing room. I imagine Dallow's in that leadership group because he seems like he's taking on a lot of the leadership. Onana looks like he's a very confident lad. So I'm sure there's people in there who are willing to step up to the plate if Bruno's not going to play. And you've got Mount's return now. Like I would love to see him like replace Bruno.
I would start Mason Mount over Bruno Fernandes.
I think Eriksen is so much better at times in that 10. I think his intelligence on the ball and the ability to pick a pass out is stunning. I
He's
think
very calm.
he's
He's very
fantastic at
calm in
it.
the tense moment.
Whereas Bruno, like you said, he's just chaotic. Like he tries the Hollywood pass, he's back heeling it, he's trying like a thread through pass through 4 players' legs, which comes off like what 1 in 100 times. Looks fantastic if you pull it off and you look amazing, but if you don't, you're just consistently losing the ball, which I'm fine with a final third player losing the ball, like trying to do stuff. But when it's ruining everything, like you said, ruin the orchestra and the whole rhythm of the thing, then you have to take him out because it's not working for the team. It's causing issues for the team. So I think every player should be droppable. Like, I don't think it should matter who you are if you've got a captain's armband. Nothing. Every player should be droppable because then no player can, in their right minds, can go, well, he got to start and he played badly, but I've been dropped for that. So it's got to be consistent. You played badly, you got dropped. It doesn't matter who you are. Luke Shaw, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Casemiro. If you play badly, you get dropped. That's simple.
I mean, we're trying to.
Can I ask you guys something about Bruno? And just to hear what you guys think about it. Like, do you think maybe the fact that he's a captain has something to do with it? Because Bruno is very like emotional. Like, he's one of those emotional sort of players. He lets the game carry him, like the emotion in the game sort of carry him. Do you think that he feels the added responsibility of having the armband? Sort of. Do you think that kind of makes him like over exert himself or try to overperform? Whereas if someone else like Martinez had the armband, he'll kind of feel a little bit freer of any sort of responsibility.
I get what you're saying. I think Bruno, obviously, like you said, is naturally like that anyway. He's always been like that. And I remember Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when he was on Sticks of Football, he was saying the reason why I didn't give him the captaincy is because he's over emotional and he gets way too involved in it a lot of the time. I get when he's doing that when we've been playing like we have been for the past 2 years, and it has been chaotic and it has been erratic and everyone's back and forth and headless chickens, and he feel like he needs to do this. He needs to get stuck in and cover other people. But when it was like yesterday against Crystal Palace, you're watching it and you're like, you don't need to be like that.
We're in control.
We're composed. We're in control.
Cruise control, man.
The orchestra, again, you go back to it, like, there's violins, there's people playing the harp, and Bruno's coming in with a pair of drums and bongos and fucking going mad. He's like, what? Whoa, steady on. We're trying to make a tune here. We're trying to orchestrate something, and you're just fucking ruining everything.
It feels like, because we weren't winning, because it was 0-0 for such a long time, it feels like he has to save the game, doesn't it? He feels like he has to take it on himself and go, I have to create something, or I have to score to get the win for this game. Whereas if you just concentrated on, let's get the team to help us win this game, feed the right players, play off the different players, buy into this team dynamic, we probably would have got a goal at some point. However, he has to try and win it himself, which is, I think, the old mentality that we had under Ole, under Ragnick, and the last year under Ten Hag. It's that old mentality that we need to change out of that. We're not in that mentality anymore. We need to change the way we think and the way we approach the game.
Yeah. And look, he's 30 years old now. So it's not like he's learning or anything. He should be at that point already. So, yeah, questions to be asked about Bruno Fernandes for sure. Shreyas, I want to end this bit and kind of piece all this together that we've spoken about. Ultimately, you're going to be judged on where you finish in the league. Has the start of the season encouraged you enough to say, yeah, we're going to finish at least higher than 8th or finish in the top 4? Where's your head at?
It looks better, but I just really need to see us, be able to do, be able to just see games out on a convincing basis, on a consistent way. I think that's the only time we can actually be hopeful, because if it's going to just stay this way, like, we are going to be creating chances, but we are not going to be able to do, able to pull things off when it comes to the dying moments of the game. Bruno gets frustrated quite easily whenever we are not winning. Because even yesterday's game, you could see he started the game quite sharp. But after that 20th to 30th minute mark, when things weren't really flowing our way, we weren't able to, convert. He got way too frustrated. He was just trying way too hard at times, where he just need to simplify his game at times, which Xerxes did on a lot of occasions. Was very calm, was very composed, played a lot of channels in for Ahmad as well as Garnacho. He was able to link quite well with Eriksen as well. So I think we need to see this on a consistent basis. Unless we see it on a consistent basis, and it's like, 3 or 4 games on a 3 or 4 game scale. We win 2, we draw 1, we lose 1, and it just doesn't fit right. And then the thing that happened last season will be happening all over again. So I think we still need some time to actually judge it, where we might actually end, because it is not out of the realms of possibility that we might again finish 8th if we continue like this, because we need to have that clinical edge. If we are not able to finish off our chances, other teams are going to take advantage of it. Crystal Palace had 2 or 3 very good opportunities to score yesterday. Onana saved us on all of those occasions yesterday. Against a better team, it will cost us. So we just really need to, start finishing off our chances, because the moment you score those goals, the complete game changes. If we converted yesterday and, were like 2-0 up, 2-0 up by the end of the first half, would have been a completely different game altogether.
Sam, Chivy, I know you guys are very measured with things like this, so I'm not going to say predict us or we're going to finish top 4 or whatever like that. But the way we're going and the path we're on, can you still see us kind of sitting closer to where we finished last season, or really kicking on?
I think we'll be close to where we finished last season, but we actually might be playing better. The problem we have now is that Aston Villa has kicked on now. Yeah. Chelsea is kicking on now. Spurs is kicking on. So we might actually be playing better. But then if we're not actually producing results, we might still find ourselves playing really well but ending up 7th or 8th.
It's about beating those teams as well, right? When we do play them.
That's the thing. Yeah. So we have to beat them. So back then it didn't really matter, because you would get all your points from the quote unquote lesser teams. But now the competition is getting longer. Yeah. So it's not just about, getting a draw at Highbury, or, now you have to beat everyone, get one over them to solve, So that's why we might actually end up playing a lot better. We might be luckier with injuries. But then the problem is Chelsea is not 10th or whatever it was they were last season. Now there's more competition for those top spaces. So this is why I think we might just be. I think the highest I'll see us finish is maybe 6th, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see 5th to 6th finish, for sure. Sam, would you echo the thoughts of the lads?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think in your side, St. Jim, Radcliffe, one of the two, I think they said they're more interested in the style of play and the consistency and the improvement on the pitch than league position. That's what they want to see more than anything. So I think he could theoretically finish 6th, 7th, or something around there. Like Chivy said, these other teams are leveling up and stuff like that. He could theoretically finish there, and maybe he wins the Europa League, but on the pitch is improved so much, and we've beaten a bunch of those teams. We could then be like, okay, we see where we're going. Much like the Arteta thing, where he finished like 8th and stuff like that, but you could see where he was going. You could see something similar there. However, if he reverts back to what he was doing last season, or the on-performance pitches start to slip, obviously then league position becomes everything, because if you're not going to be playing, if your style is wrong and you're not performing on the pitch, you have to win games and you have to get your league position right. It's got to be one or the other. Obviously, you want both. You want both to happen. But yeah, I think we shouldn't be expecting top 4 this season. If you're a realistic United fan, if you're expecting top 4, you're going to be disappointed, I think.
Yeah, I think Steph makes a great point. It says need 75 points normally to secure top 3, 4 should be possibility. Next 2 games will be a good barometer. Yeah, because obviously in the league we play Spurs and Aston Villa, don't we? So I think you can really get kind of a concrete idea where we're at. Yeah. Whoa, exactly. Yeah. We play FC20 and then it's Spurs, Villa, and I can't remember who's after that as well. I think Brentford are in there at some point. So some tougher tests coming up. For sure. Right. I'm just going to go to, before we do to the interactive stuff, I just want to discuss some of the topical bits. Obviously, we've had a couple of the games today. Then you managed to catch Brighton and Forest by any chance?
Chaos.
Yeah.
Absolute fucking chaos.
Did you see the red card, Gibbs White red card, where he got sent off? Yeah.
And then
disagree?
And then the managers got sent off as well.
Yeah.
At the same time, which is just insane.
It was one of those tackles, wasn't it, Sam, where like
second
he gets
yellow,
the ball,
wasn't it?
But he hits him quite hard.
It's a second yellow. So I think if had he got a straight red for it, I'd be like, nah, it's not. That's a yellow card. But because it was another yellow card, it's second yellow, so he had to go, didn't he?
Yeah. João Pedro injured again as well, so I have to take him out of my FPL team. Jimmy, I'll go to Arsenal City. Thoughts on that game? Did you watch it? No. Okay. Shreyas, did you? Have you actually not seen the game? No.
No, I was I couldn't watch it. I couldn't.
Oh shit! Yeah, because of
I can't
Arsenal.
watch us. Yeah, I can't watch them.
Right. Okay. So, well, how do you feel knowing the result?
Happy, elated.
Okay.
I couldn't. Yeah, an Arsenal win. Yeah. Before we went live, I was telling some of them like, if Arsenal won, I probably wouldn't be going to the gym. I'll probably have to change my whole gym routine because there's a guy there who can't stop talking about Arsenal.
Oh, really? They're the worst as well, innit?
Yeah. So they're my city. So for you, like, you know how City is to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, tough one. Oh, sorry, it's a sensitive subject. Shreyas, did you manage to catch the game, mate?
Yeah, I think it was genuinely a very chaotic game again. I didn't expect it to be as chaotic. I thought it would be a boring watch, but with the red card and with the way City actually started the game, I thought it would end up being an Arsenal loss the way the game actually started. But Calafiori came up with a very, very, very good goal.
Oh, what a finish.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And I think the momentum kind of shifted. I think Arsenal were genuinely quite lucky that they were able to hold it to a draw after losing Trossard, because I thought that, against 10 men, especially against City, when you're trailing, it's going to be very, very hard to maintain that lead. But in the dying moments of the game, Stones came up with the goal. But I think for Arsenal, it's a very good result. Considering the kind of situation they were in, it is a very
really
good result for them.
Yeah, but they said that last season, didn't they, Sam?
Yep.
The draw is a good result there, but it wasn't enough to win them the league. Sometimes, because they was winning up until, what was it, the 94th, 95th? Do you think that might be a kicker in the teeth again towards the back end of the season?
If you want to win the league against City, you have to beat City. That's the only way to do it. Like, you can win all these other games and all that sort of stuff, but you don't beat City, they'll just continue to win, and you just won't catch them. So you have to beat them, so that you got 2 games a year to try and beat them, to try and take 6 points off them. That's where you win the league. And if you don't do it, you're probably not going to win the league, unfortunately.
Yeah. Fergie said it, didn't he, about Arsenal. If you beat Arsenal, you beat rivals Liverpool that season, that, you're going to pretty much kick on and go and win the league. So it'd be interesting I've not seen any of the reaction after the game. I know it was kicking off on the benches, people going mad about the Trossard red card. And it was an active game anyway.
That youth Arsenal player got booked, and he's not even made his debut either.
Yeah, he was moaning on the sideline. A lot of tension on the sideline. Arsenal time wasting, a lot of shit. It was a good watch, to be fair. Decent watch.
Enjoyed it.
I think Simon's actually a
fan.
What do you call it? Yeah. So interested to get his thoughts. Didn't see that game, but the City game was bonkers as well. I feel going off the full contest, it was a fair result. City's game, that is. The weird thing is, they just kept Arsenal was playing with like a 6-3 and really compact and deep. And then it was just the defenders who were having the ball, like Walker and Diaz. And there's no creativity, just having long shots. And Arsenal were just basically seeing this off. It was nothing. 10 minutes.
After seeing the possession stats in those games, I was quite surprised that City weren't really able to win that game. Because Arsenal were barely on the ball. And it is very unlike City to dominate possession and still not able to come up with the win.
Do you know what,
because Arsenal is really, really good in defense. So I watched part of the game they played against Atalanta in the Champions League. Yeah, and there was a time, can't remember who had the ball. Someone had the ball on the right hand side, the Atlanta player, and it's bearing down, and there's like 6 Arsenal players in there, and it's just so organized. So they're really, this is one thing they've become really good at, defending and all their positions. They know exactly how to see a game out. They used to suffer from being too naive.
Yeah,
but I think they're beginning to learn from that now.
Fragile. They were always the tags that they got put on them. But I want to say so there was 2 players in this game today who were really good, Gabriel and Haaland, and it took me back to scouting at United, because I remember being linked with Gabriel when he was in the French league for 25-30 million, and it was no, too much, not worth it. And he's been one of the best centre backs so far this season. He's an absolute.
He would have been crap for us. I guarantee you this. Yeah.
Just because of the way signings typically go, do you mean, or do you think it's a stylistic? Yeah.
No, because I think he's got he's got that environment at Arsenal, and I think it's kind of because he wasn't really amazing when he first went there. It did take a while for him to actually come into this. So.
And then there's Erling Haaland, who scored as well, that we could have got for £10 million, and it's just a reminder every time the way he's 100 goals for City already. he could well and truly break that Premier League record in the next, like, I'm talking 5 years if he stays there, or depending on what happens to City.
I think he
nuts.
I think he ends up at Madrid within 2 years. I think he's there.
Think,
yeah, guarantee it.
Like, did you say 5 years?
2 years.
Yeah. No,
Nick,
it means yeah, 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on 100 goals now.
Yeah.
If he scores 30 goals a season, that's 250 he'll be on.
Yeah.
For the next 5 seasons, could easily do it. It's mad. The numbers he's putting up is absolutely scary. Right, we'll dive into the interactive stuff. So make sure you guys that are in the chat stick around, and anyone who's watching this later on. Bart is a serious fan. Says Palace haven't won a game this season. United failed to beat them. Even Al Hilal has a better striker than United, and they don't play in the EPL. We've got a troll in the chat. Yeah, thank you for your comment. Anyway, Sam, should we dive into the interactive stuff?
Yeah. So I've just done it in the order you sent it. So because I didn't know which one it is. So yeah,
it's all right either way. Anyway, so right, guess the player by his career path. So we've got from Charlton Athletic to Everton to Leipzig to Fulham to Leicester to Atalanta. So anyone who can't see that on the screen, they are the team.
I know it is. I've got it as well.
Yeah.
Oh well, Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us, lads?
Lookman.
Adam Ola Lookman.
There was a pause then. I know it. Do you want to tell us? Never went.
I was letting somebody else go first.
Yeah.
Well, obviously that's an easy one. So maybe take a little bit more time on this next one and give the chat. That's what I'll suggest. There is a couple of difficult ones in there. So no, it's cool. I said, do you want to tell us? So it's on me. Next up. So we've got FC Tokyo to Real Madrid to Mallorca to Villarreal to Getafe to Sociedad. Who is this player?
Tokyo to Madrid.
Yeah, it's.
Okay, got it. I got it.
Hold it. Don't say it. Anyone in the chat? Do we know? Shreyas has got it.
Yeah.
Can Chivy get it? Can his 64-year-old memory serve him right?
I just can't remember his name, but I know who the person is. I just can't remember his name.
You know what position?
Japanese kid. Is it attacking midfielder?
I'd say more. I'd say more of a winger personally, but I think he can.
I have no idea on this one.
No,
I don't know.
He's a flair player. He was like this young Japanese kid.
Shreyas, do you want to take? Because I've done it because Shreyas is in here.
Yeah.
So
Kubo.
Shreyas, Kubo.
Yeah.
Kubo.
Yes, Kubo. A player Shreyas is a fan of. All right, next up.
I know this. I know this one already.
Do you?
Yeah,
really?
I've got it. Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, so from Leeds to Newcastle to Villa to City to Liverpool to Brighton.
Easy.
Who is this player?
Say it again.
I know
Yeah.
it. Do you want me to
Leeds
say
to Newcastle.
I got it.
To Newcastle, and then Newcastle to Villa, Villa to City, City to Liverpool, Liverpool to Brighton.
Can I say it?
You guys on that?
Can I
Yes,
say
Sam.
it? James Milner.
Yeah.
James Milner,
The
of
most
course, it is a
boring
veteran.
man on the face of the earth.
Yeah, just drinks water and salads all day, every day for the past 20 years, and goes to sleep at 6 p.m. He's a good professional. I'll leave it at that. I mean, he's played for City and Liverpool, and Leeds, so he can get to fucking my book. A few people getting it right in the chat. Yep, Steph, Bart, Simon, all getting it spot on. Correct. The last one, right? This one's a bit more of a tricky one. I've at least tried. I thought the others were a little bit difficult, but apparently not. Who's this player? So from FC20 to Go Ahead Eagles to Spartak Moscow to Sevilla to Ajax, and then the last one I'm not going to tell you where it is because I think I'll give it away. But there's one more club in there.
20 to Go Ahead.
Go Ahead.
To
Spartak.
To Sevilla. Oh, Sparta. To Sevilla.
To Ajax, and then to one more club. Hey, some silence in the. I like it. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Sevilla to Ajax.
Yeah.
Not someone put Pogba. What?
Who the fuck put Pogba?
But FC20, Go Ahead Eagles, Sparta. I must have missed that part of his career.
Yeah. The Spartak.
Any ideas, lads?
The Spartak to Sevilla ones messed me up. Like, that's probably sent me west. That one.
I like it. This is what I wanted with the other three. The other three just gone, yeah, I know it is. All right, well, fair enough. Anyone in the chat get it? Who is this player? Ocampos. Nope, not Ocampos. It's a good guess, though. I'm joking, he's a mercenary.
It's not something stupid like Ten Hag, is it? Or something like that.
No. But that would have been a good one to do, to be fair. I should have done that.
When he was playing, like...
Yeah, great shout, that.
Can you give us a clue? Like,
do you want a clue?
Yeah.
I'm never going to get this if I don't get a clue.
He was in a bit of trouble recently.
Is it that guy, the Arsenal Academy one who's got done for cocaine? That one.
I haven't seen that, no, but that's hilarious.
Is it a Dutch winger?
Maybe.
It's not Quincy Promes.
Okay, got it.
Is it Quincy Promes?
Yeah,
it is Quincy Promes. Yeah.
Quincy Promes. Yeah.
I just had to double check whether it's a Dutch winger because that was the only one that came to my head after.
Yeah. And then that last club is Dubai United.
United.
Who he's going to play for at the minute. So yeah, I think that may have given something away there. But yeah, Quincy Promes, well done, smashed that there. That is the interactive section done, which I thought was going to take 5 to 10 minutes, but the lads have smashed it out of the park. So next time I do it, I'm going to have to do like Ten Hag or some fucking a League 2 player from Peterborough or something.
Yeah.
So make sure it's impossible.
You need to do like obscure United players, like Nick Powell and like people like that.
Yeah.
That's where you need to go. So then United's involved. So you're like, who the fuck is this? Who's gone from here to Wigan?
Keep it in this generation.
Yeah, you need to do that. Me and Chivia smash that round as well. If it's like United youth players, where they've moved to, Angel Gomez, those kind of guys, we'd smash that one.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to keep it friendly for. I included a vet in there, a quirky one in there. Keep it friendly for everyone. That's what we do over here on this channel. So thank you very much to everyone who's been getting involved on a Sunday night and taking time out of your day to spend it with us. Likewise to the lads as well, taking time out of the day to come on the channel and discuss football and do what we do. Appreciate yous. Smash like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back Monday afternoon. We've got the Europa League preview tomorrow because I believe the game's on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's not 5 o'clock kickoff, is it?
Hope not. I don't think so. But
No, it's 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Oh, right, okay, that's fine.
8 p.m. Yeah.
Thank God, I fucking 5 o'clock kickoff.
Well,
Yeah,
UK time. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll have the FC20 preview tomorrow then, which is exciting. And we'll have the new show in the afternoon, so make sure you come and join us. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a thing, and follow us on socials as well. Me, Chivet, Sam, and Shreyas. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, guys. See you in a bit.
Peace.